Lead to orders on SAP is a solution for process mining presented by Software AG. Lead to orders on SAP by Software AG gives a clear insight from the first step of registering the customers to the order creation. With the help of these industry-agnostic solutions, one can identify the long-running process that are causing delays and identifying bottlenecks. The solution focuses on process cycle times and the rate of missed process opportunities and quotes conformance, and also presents a throughput time between stages. What are the benefits of this solution? It's an end-to-end transparency of the life cycle to the lead to order process. First of all, we identify all the inefficiencies and bottlenecks on your lead to process order. Second, we benchmark organizations as unit and use the best practices identified to improve process performance. And third, we identify process deviations from the ideal process using conformance analysis. If we started from the first part, which is actually our lead to order, so this is the lead to order dashboard with all the analysis. So the first that we're going to be talking is the Process Explorer. On the Process Explorers, we have a key metrics or an overview, which we will have presented in here is the case started per days, how many started per day, how many activities, how long will take you to perform these activities, the throughput times, and in here we have the cases per month. So we'll be able to identify which ones are my key my peak times and which ones are my lower times, and how I should reallocate my resources in order to fulfill these peak times. Second, we move to the Process Explorer. And the Process Explorers will be able to see it the different activities that is performing this lead to order. So if we change it into 100%, we'll be able to see the different variants of this process. So we considered how many times these processes behave in different ways. If we move here to the process view, we can be able to see the most common variant and the least common variants. What are the reasons for this least common variants is because we be able to identify the ones that is not easily recognizable on your organization. And these ones could be also then transferred to the ARIS repository in order to do some extra analysis. Then we move to the process performance. And here we'll be able to identify the different aspects of the performance. So how many of these steps or activities that we have identified are actually performance with the reference processes that you have already designed on your ARIS repository. You'll be able to see which ones activities are performance against case by case. If we select this ones, we can also be able to do some symptom analysis, and we'll be able to select this any symptoms analysis that we would like to understand in here. So here we can select any of our symptoms of interest. So we have the performance, so we applied it, and we can be able to see how many performance are there in these cases in here, which ones are or performance analysis in not performance analysis. So we can be able to identify which activities are performance and which activities are not being defined as performance. Then we can be able to see which ones are my performance issues. So I can be able to identify different performance issues around the time. So we can see here the non-performance and conformance. So I can be able to understand what are my deviations from my identified process in itself. Now we move to our process cycle time. So in the process cycle times, we'll be able to understand how long it takes from the starting of registration of a customer until the process ends in general. So in here we have the most common one. So it's the one registered. 87% of cases is the registers. It takes what is the average duration of the lead to order, and then what is the cycle of the process time. But also we can be able to identify how long it takes the different exact in here. So we can say that how long it takes create a quotations, how long it takes to create an opportunity, and we'll be able to identify those different issues that we will be able to face it during each of these activities, and which ones will be our longest or least, and what the reasons of these ones are. And here we can also understand that is we can identify the symptoms and see it what else could be the reasons for that. So we can be able to perform analysis and identify any root causes that we can be finding in this case. Then we have the process measures. On the precious measures, we'll be able to select different countries, and we'll be able to do the comparisons between my different countries and see which ones are the countries that I would like to conform. So in here, I can do two countries or three countries, or how many you wanted to actually being format. And also we'll be able to identify different sales office. So we can do a performance check and see how each of the countries are performing, and how we can compare each other, how long will take it. So we can benchmark them and take it the best practices between different parts of the organizations. And now we go moving to the customer analysis. And this is what we identify as the key points to measure. So we have the registrations and activities, the quotations per case, and the orders per case. Then we can be able to set it which customer group, so we can be able to identify different customer order groups. So we can set it industrial customers, and we can make sure that we can compare customer groups, and then we can also be able to compare sales organizations. So compare sales organizations, and then also the company code if we would like. So we can do against comparisons for different customer groups and sales organizations, and then so we'll be able to do some analysis of each of these aspects. And then finally we move the material analysis. So what we have in here is we have again so the different organizations activities, the average quotation, so we can be able to compare the materials, how long would come materials in here. So we can set it in my distribution channel. I can select the final customer sales, and then I can select it applied, and then I can also apply the industry, so I can do comparison between two different industries that we have in here. In high tech, and then we'll be able to do some comparisons in here. So we can be able to do some comparisons and see how they've been behaving over the time, over the periods, over the years, and how they've been behaving in that. So also we'll be able to see any pain points that we will be able to do some analysis as well. So some remediation points that we can be able to perform analysis and see if there's any root cause found. With this is basically the presentations of the lead to order process mining solutions powered by Software AG.